What's up guys, for today's watch review we're talking about the Seiko SRP637 Baby Tuna. Before we get into the review, let's do a quick wrist check. I'm rocking another Seiko. This is the SBBN031 Tuna. I have not done a review on this one, but I'll probably do a review by tomorrow. So make sure that you subscribe so that you get updated as soon as I publish it. Going back to the Baby Tuna, let's start off with our first talking point, which is a 360 view followed by dimensions. This is not the stock band or stock bracelet, by the way. I will show you the stock bracelet later on in the video. So here's the front. And it's always good to look at these watches and see how light falls on it at different angles, because looking at pictures online will only show you so much. But there is the case back. You've got the Prospex Waves Crashing logo. Looks very good, professional and elegant. And then here are the dimensions. Looking at the numbers on dimensions, you can tell that this is not a small watch. It's a beefy, hefty watch. But for what it was designed for, as a dive watch, I think that these numbers are perfectly acceptable. So even with it being quite large and heavy, I still give it a 5 out of 5. Because as a dive watch, there's really nothing much I would change. Next talking point is price. So going off of several different retail sites, you're looking at about $500 to $600 realistically. I paid $580 off of Amazon after taxes, and that's really about ballpark what you should expect to pay for on any other website. For the score, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. And that's because just looking at the movement that you're getting, you're not really getting like a super luxurious movement. It's really just middle line, middle Seiko movement, like something that you'd find on a Seiko 5 or a Turtle. So realistically, I think $300 to $400 is what you should pay for this watch. Again, you know, I think you're just paying an extra $100 to $200 because of the Seiko name and the Tuna reputation. If you disagree with me, please let me know in the comment section why, but I give it a 3 out of 5 for price. Next talking point is functions and features. So right off the bat, you can see that you've got this unidirectional bezel. It's a 120 click bezel and it feels very good. Higher quality than your standard Seikos. It feels like a machine, like an industrial bezel. I will say that because of the shroud, you can only access it from between 12 and 3 and 6 and 9. So as a desk diver, that's perfectly fine. But I can imagine that if you are an actual diver, you're probably wearing some kind of thick material glove. And because the gripping surface is not that prominent on this watch, it might be a little bit difficult for you to grab it when you're wearing heavy duty gloves. So for that reason, I give functions and features a 4.5 out of 5. But going over the other features here, you've got your date window right there, and then your loom on the indices, and then automatic movement, hand winding, and hackable. So great features and functions. Just the half point, it loses half a point because I imagine for divers, operating this bezel might be a little bit difficult. Next talking point is illumination, so let's go ahead and show you the footage of that. You can see super bright. Seiko loom has always been, in my experience, fantastic. It will last you the night. So, you know, as soon as you go to bed, the loom is super bright, and then when you wake up, it's a very soft, pleasant green glow. So 5 out of 5 for illumination. Next talking point is visibility. This is how easy is it to read the time throughout the day. With the black backdrop and the white indices and the white face for the day and date window, it's super easy to see. There's no issues here. You point the wrist to your face and you'll be able to tell the time right away. So 5 out of 5 for visibility. Next talking point is button crown quality. So right off the bat, the crown quality is fantastic. You've got this coined edge here, or I think that's what the term is, coined edge. It is a screw down crown. It's threaded very precisely, so unscrewing it and screwing it back in is a easy experience. Some watches have a very muddy or gritty feeling crown when you're screwing it back in. That is not the case with this one. It is at the 4 o'clock position, which is great. I love watches with the crown at either the 4 or 9 o'clock position because one, it looks super cool, but also you're not worrying about a crown that's just digging into the back of your hand. The only thing that I would change about the crown is I wish they made one in a knurled, or like a knurled crown, kind of like on a Seiko Samurai. I think it would give it a super cool look. So because of that, I give it a 4.5 out of 5, but don't read too deep into that. That's just my personal preference. I would have preferred a knurled crown vice this style right here. Next talking point is band quality and comfort. So let's go ahead and show you the stock band. This is what you get from the factory. This is what's going to be on the watch. It's great. You know, feels good on the wrist. I just don't like the style, which is why I swapped it out with this engineer band. Keep in mind, this is the pin and collar system. So if you've never adjusted a band with a pin and collar, just take 10 minutes to do some research on YouTube and figure out how to do it properly, so you're not looking at losing a collar, which is the worst thing ever. Let's also take this moment to show you what it looks like on the wrist. I highly recommend this engineer band. You can find several different manufacturers on Amazon or eBay, but it really does make it look super cool. But yeah, for band quality and comfort, I give it a 4.5 out of 5, and that is also just because I would have preferred the engineer style band to be stock. I just didn't like how the stock band or the stock bracelet looked. Next talking point is the X factor. This is things like charisma and street cred and all that stuff. So for X factor, I give it a score of 5 out of 5. That's because just look at this watch. It looks super sleek. It's a tool watch, and tool watches automatically will get an X factor of 5 out of 5 because I think there's a very special place in everyone's heart for a watch that was designed to be abused but looks cool at the same time. I think one thing about it is the shroud. It really just gives it that very macho look that is so desired in every single watch. Yeah, an elegant watch looks cool, but I think maybe more specifically for men, we do like to have a very beefy tank-like watch. I think that's something that's just ingrained in our DNA. And then you get the name Seiko on top of that, which they have such a good reputation in the watch community as being, for the most part, a good quality watch that there's really no other score I can give it other than a 5 out of 5 for the X factor. Next talking point and last talking point is my overall thoughts and should you buy this watch. So going off of the overall score, which I'm going to average all the scores, we get a 4.5 out of 5, and I think that's exactly accurate representation of what I feel. So when you look at my grading criteria, a 4 out of 5 is pretty much like that's as good as it's going to get. There's no such thing as a perfect watch. So anything above or anything less than 5 and above 4 is really more like my personal preference. So realistically, this watch is as good as a watch as you're going to get. The reason why it doesn't get a 5 out of 5 is because there's little things about it that I would change. For instance, the crown, right? It's a perfectly functioning crown. It's really nothing wrong about it. It's my personal preference that I would have liked a knurled crown. So, this is a fantastic watch. I absolutely love it. It's super fun. Like I said in the X Factor comment, it's got that super macho machine tool watch look to it. And because of that, it's going to make you smile. And it's going to make people who look at your watch smile because they're going to look at it and make them happy because things that are good quality make people happy. Whether or not you should buy it, hell yes. If you're a collector, you should definitely buy this. If you're just a guy looking for a watch, you can't go wrong with a baby Tuna. Now, whether or not it's better than a regular Tuna, that's a different topic for another day. I'm not even going to open those can of worms. But that's really all I got to say. You know, I definitely recommend it. If you have been looking at this watch and you got the cash, go ahead and buy one. Yeah, that's really all I got to say. So anyways, I hope that this video helps you with your next watch purchase. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and tune in for my next episode. All right, bye.